Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Benkei. Today, let's talk about the OpenModelica, the basic functionality of the user interface. So, how do we use this software? So, after you install OpenModelica and you got a shortcut called OMEdit, it actually means OpenModelica Connection Editor. So, let me open this software, and it's creating some widgets here. Let's wait here a little bit until it's fully opened. Okay, it's loading the Modelica library. Okay, here is the fully opened OpenModelica. Here the interface, here it shows the welcome layer. This is the welcome layer. So it shows some latest news for OpenModelica release. On the left side, it shows your recent opened Modelica files. Then it has another layer called the modeling. Then here, the modeling is where you create your components, your models. Then have the third layer called plotting. This is after you finish your component, your modeling, you run the simulation, you get some result. Here is where you plot the result. And the debugging is where when your model has some issue, you can debug your models through the here. So let's go to the modeling. So the basic first important layer is called modeling. So here the interface on your left side is the library. It shows 5 libraries. So among those 5 libraries, Modelica library, as you can see that is a free library for all users. This library is the most common one that we are going to use it. We are going to make other component models based on this library. But there are some other commercial libraries. You can load it here too. We will cover that later in other videos. So another important thing is for Modelica reference, it shows some basic knowledge about Modelica modeling. So for example, has some classes, operators, some if, input, output. So I'll give you more details later here for the Modelica reference. Today I will focus on the nice user interface for OpenModelica. So for each component, for example, let me pick an example here. Say so for Modelica, it has multiple domains: electrical, magnetic, mechanics, fluid, media, thermal, mass. So for example, I'm going to use one example from here to show you some information. For example, let's go to the examples. Control the temperature. Let's open it. So see what's that over there. So maybe this is the bigger model. Oh, there you go. This is control the temperature. Okay. So for each component, this is a component they call control the temperature. It has 4 representations. The first one is called icon layer. So it's basically just an icon. Then it has this is called a diagram view. So this is a diagram. This shows the energy flow through those components in your model. Then it has the third representation is called a text view. Behind those graphical representation is those text layers. Those text layers that really define those laws, those equations that behind the driven the energy flow. So I will give you more details later. The fourth representation is called a documentation view. Documentation view is here. The documentation view shows the purpose or what is the model doing here, what's the purpose of the model, and some parameters, some assumptions over here. So let's put it here. Let's go with the next thing I'm going to do is to show you some other more icon buttons here. For example, here is you create your new models. So I'll cover more detail later. So another important thing is after you finish your model, you need to check your model here. Okay. So it says here the check was successful and had 52 equations and 52 variables. And very important concept in Modelica models, you need to have a balanced model. A balanced model means you have the same number of equations with the same number of variables in your model. Otherwise, it will cause a singularity issue. So in my other videos, I talked about what does it mean for balanced model. I also talked about how do we do with singularity issues that if you have unbalanced model. You can also check your model here, check your model. The same thing actually. So after your model check was successful, you can run the simulation. So here the simulate arrow, the right side, the right oriented arrow means simulate. Let's simulate this example file. Okay, it's compile that behind that. It's a little bit slow here. So this should be a good example model. It should be past the compile. And because it has 55 equations, it's a little bit slow here. So let's wait here a little bit more. Okay, here we go. So the initial line finished success. Okay, the simulation is successful. As you can see that we came to the third layer is called the plotting layer. Actually, it's put all the components, some component in your model here. Each component had a few like variables here. Say, okay, this is the resulting temperature. This is the curve for the resulting temperature. It's the temperature difference, ambient temperature constant. So let's go with heat capacity, temperature, where the temperature is changing, varying here. On off controller. Okay, I see. Kind of 1 0 1 0. Oh, this is the plotting layer. So after you finish your simulation, you can plot the result, check the results. The first layer is debugging. So you can debug your model through here. Later I will give more details in another video about debugging. So let's go back to the modeling here. I still have a couple more that I haven't covered yet. For example, here is set zoom. Zoom your model. You can zoom your model to see more clearly for some component. And for the zoom, I put it in here, right? And okay, here is a couple lines, polygons. Actually, they are for like how to when you create icon layer or diagram layer, you may use that line or a multi-line or rectangle or circle. So let me check one more thing here. Check our model, check our models with that. Modelica reference. Okay, there's an important thing that I need to cover. It's called a simulation setup. Simulation setup basically is set up a starting time, ending time, say stop time, so 1000 seconds. A number of intervals, say 1000. Then you choose the solver, called the method integration. Has a couple options available, say Euler, Ranjaguta and DASSL, they specify the tolerance, Jacobian. So then there are other Apple like a DASSL IDA option. If we have special requirement for those servers, you can use that. Then for other information, you can keep that default. So interactive simulation, if we want to do interactive simulation, that means you have results updating with the simulation. So translation flags. So when you translate your model, when you check your model, you will get more information through here actually. If, for example, I want to evaluate all the parameters, show additional informations, enable analytical Jacobian, enable parallelization for independent system equations, enable all the front end for code generation, enable data reconciliation, and so on. The simulation flags, you can set up the simulation flags. The linear solver, you can set up linear solver, clock, nonlinear solver, and profiling stuff. So you can do some logging information here. I just go with the default here and have some output. So you can output the data as mat data or plot data or CSV data. So RQ the results, RQ the simulation. You can save that your previous simulation, or you can choose not to do that too. So okay. Okay, I think the next thing I will show you how do we load an example. For example, I open file, say file, here file, you can open new Modelica, you can open some library files, you can load the library, open some results, and so on. You can import some kind of FMU information. You can export some FMU and image. So let me load my recent files. OpenModelica files. So I call it OpenModelica. Here I build a package called OpenModelica. So in this package I have two package sub package called singularity. It really shows the singularity issue and balanced model. What that means for balanced models. So okay. So let me go here. Say for singularity. For example, when I open, over here I open my model. Here, it's a very simple model called singularity overdetermined. I have some variable, have equations. As you can see, my diagram layer is empty. My icon layer is empty. I can create some icon layer. For example, I can make a ball here. I can add some color to this ball. Cancel. So it's a little bit of freezing here. Okay. So I want to fill in some colors to this ball for my icon layer. So I can fill in some colors. Image file. It's coming, ask me some about image file. Let me go to here. So okay, there you go. Okay, here is my icon layer. So I finished the icon design for this component model called singularity overdetermined. You can do whatever you like for your icon layer. So the software is a little bit crazy here. It's not responding. Okay, this is my icon layer. This is my diagram layer. You can see that I have nothing. So I can, for example, I can pick up something here. Okay, this is my, okay, I put some kind of diagram here, then I can save it. Right. I can see my, as you can see that my text representation has some more information. As you can see that I have some icon. For icon, this is my image source that I loaded in here. And for the diagram layer here, have some simple polygon shape here. So, okay, I think that's all. Hopefully that can be helpful that how do we use OpenModelica. In my later video, I will introduce you each component. How do we do Modelica modelings in OpenModelica. Thank you.